Hello, this is Josh Schroyer. I'm the Planning Ops trainee, and we're going to give the update for today, October 20th, for the CalWood and left-hand fires. First, let's start with the CalWood fire. A little update from yesterday. The weather wasn't near as bad as we thought it was going to be, and so we actually had some pretty good progress. If you see on the map here, we were able to go direct kind of on the heel and get some good containment back here. Looking down, the fire has started to slop over the ridge into that real steep country, and so we're looking at options to help bring the fire slowly down to the road and use the road, Highway 7, as our containment. Coming around here, the fire has gotten a little bit closer to the road, and we've got engines down here patrolling to help hold that and keep that in check as the fire continues to work there. We had some good success with aerial retardant, more on the north end of the fire, to help keep that fire spread in check. To keep it, again, we want to keep it from moving any farther north than possible. Coming back around to the northeast, the big thing you're going to see here over on the northeast and east side is we've got some good containment here. This is where we hit that fuel transition and got down in the grass, and so this is looking real good through here. Crews did some excellent work getting that contained. Again, specifically with this containment down here, this is along the Highway 36 corridor, and a lot of that is due to not only the good work of the firefighters, but we had that fuel transition where it got into the lighter fuels, and this has been mopped up really good. All the hot spots within, maybe 100 feet of the line have been completely extinguished, which is why we were able to get this containment down here along the Highway 36 corridor. To back up just a little bit, we are looking at some options as to where exactly we want to try to hold this fire. Again, with the objective of keeping it out of our structures and values at risk up on the north end. Moving on around to the south, we've got some good work in here behind this subdivision. We're not ready to call it contained yet. So lots of good work going on yesterday and continuing today, so that we can hopefully get this buttoned up here in the next day or two and get that secured. And specifically right in here, firefighters are in looking for hot spots, mopping up those areas that have some extra heat, and we just really want to try to get every bit of heat in here cleaned up and put out so that we reduce the threat to our values there. Moving on around the south end, we're looking at some good options, and this is in that old burn scar, and so that's helping slow things down, but there's also some heavy dead trees that were killed from the previous fire that are burning, and so that's what we're really looking at, how to do this safely. And so we've got crews working from the east, and we're looking at bringing in crews from the west, but also bringing in some heavy equipment, some dozers, to kind of open up, reopen this road and maybe start going direct, which means we're going to get right on the fire edge as safely as possible to try to get this buttoned up where it's really slowly chunking through those heavy fuels down through here. Specifically with the dozers, we're going to use them. There's, again, lots of dead trees from the previous fire that have fallen over, and so the dozers are going to be used to push those out of the way and actually dig the fire line that gives us the line to work from to try to secure that part of the fire. Working on our way around, we again tying in back here, we're going to have crews coming as direct as possible, and again that's getting as close to the fire edge as is safe for our firefighters. Working to the east with the idea that we'll meet somewhere here in the middle, and over the next 2, 3, 4 days, hopefully getting some good progress in here, and maybe with the weather looking for some good success in here over the next handful of days. And that's going to be the update for CalWood, and then we'll move over to left hand. Now, specifically on the left-hand fire, we'll just start back here on the west side. We've had some good work by the firefighters putting in some direct hand line to try to get a good establishment over here. we're working that on around. Coming up on the north, we were able to get some heavy equipment, some dozers in there, and go direct, again, as close to the fire edge as we safely can along the north edge here. There's one spot that we weren't able to use equipment, but we're going to get hand crews in there today to try to get that, because that is accessible by hand crews. And so looking really good on the north end here, and that's all just south of the James Canyon Drive, if you can see that road there. So again, good work up there on the north end yesterday and going to continue on today. Working on around to the east side, getting some good hand line going direct out on this finger that's kind of pushed out this way, and the dozer line and hand line have tied in on the northeast side here. Coming around, we're coming down to the left-hand canyon road. That's kind of the southern edge of the fire, and we're going to have engines in patrolling this. There's still places where the fire is backing down to the road, and we've got the engines in place to pick that up as it comes down to where we've got access to it. And then kind of finishing up, kind of more on the southwest, we've got a good established containment right here along the road, and that's the containment that you see there. And again, containment is where we feel comfortable that the fire is not going to move anymore, and we've taken the heat out of it. In general, I expect to see a little bit more activity today, fire activity, more smoke generation. It's going to be a little bit warmer and maybe a little bit windier than it was yesterday, and a little bit less cloud cover. So that's going to all contribute to the increased fire activity. We do have adequate resources. We're getting more resources in, so we've got a good plan for how to deal with this on both fires. We still will be able to fly helicopters and our retardant, our fixed wing aircraft, and so again, well positioned to stay after this fire and continue to gain some containment.